Greetings, America, and to those beyond her magnificent shores. My name is Daniel B. Giovannoni, and I'm coming here just as a reminder that when I announced my candidacy for the presidential campaign of 2028, that was not a joke. A lot of people say, "Oh, I think you're joking." That is not a joke. That is a serious thing. It's something I intend to do, and I was planning to wait a couple years before I talked about a lot of this stuff that I'm about to talk to. And I want to start off the saying, I'm actually not a great public speaker. I tend to say the word a lot, so I apologize if that happens. See, there we go. I don't have a professional speechwriter. I don't have any, campaign managers or anything like that. So I've just got kind of a list I have up here on one of my screens that I'm just going to look at every now and then to make sure that I'm talking about some of the things that probably need to be talked about in now everyday America. And the first thing I have on here is now the first thing I have on here is about race. Now I have brought this up before, and I don't believe in black race, white race, Asian race. We are all the human race. We are one people, no matter what color your skin or how your facial features are. We are the human race. We are all one race, and I'm tired of people segregating people like just between black and white. Back in the 60s, we fought against segregation, and now in the 2020s, we're fighting for segregation, and it just doesn't make sense in my mind. It's something that we fought for so long so that people would be considered equal. It's a nasty history that the United States that has had in the past regarding race, and it's time we abandon all that and not go back to where we came from. We can't go back to segregation. We are all one race, and we need to act like it. We all have now, I will say, a lot of people have different cultures. We are a country of many cultures, but we are all one race. Alright, next topic is about guns. That's right, guns. Now, living in Wyoming, I'm obviously for gun ownership. Alright, now do I believe you should have a fully automatic rifle? No, I don't. Is the M15 a fully automatic rifle? No, it's not. So it's not even military. It's actually one of the most used hunting rifles in the United States. So I believe you should totally be able to have the ability to protect yourself with a ranged firearm. It's true that you could probably defend yourself with a knife or even with your bare fists. But criminals don't care about the laws, and they will come at you with a gun. And if you're not allowed to have one, then you're at a severe disadvantage. And if you can't fire back, they're just going to come in, shoot you, and take whatever they want. The guns need to be able to be wielded by Americans. In fact, here in Wyoming, we don't even need a concealed permit to have a concealed weapon. This is something that I have actually I think should be extended to more states. If you go into, like, say, I'm going to say something here, a school, which I fully support schools, teachers, principals, and staff that have been properly trained. I'm not saying just give every school staff a gun without any sort of proper training. That they get proper training, and that's a course to becoming a teacher. To have proper training, use, and maintenance of a firearm, and be able to have one on their person in schools. If you know that every single member of staff in a school has a weapon that can shoot you, you're going to think twice about going in there and trying to shoot kids. When I was in college for a short little time, my first professor had a concealed weapon. He even told us straight out that he had one. It was around his leg. It was down by his ankle. So, I think that is totally appropriate. And like I said, training first. These people need to be trained in the use of a firearm. Alright, we're moving on next to crime. Now, obviously, crime is a really bad thing to do, and I totally abhor it. And lately, it's, like the crime wave here in America has become just totally absurd, and that's one of the only reasons I'm coming to talk more about this right now. It's because of the crime, the shooting, the looting, the hit and runs, everything. It's so horrible right now. And in the days of being able to televise everything, we televise everything. Something happens, you will hear about it on television in some way or another from one side or the other. And crime seems to be one of the most things that you see all the time. People going in and smashing up stores. People, I saw, oh my gosh, it was such a horrible video of people who stole a elderly woman's car and ripped off her arm as they drove away. It was one of the worst, horrifying stories I think I had ever heard. And I want to bring up, everyone always talks about George Floyd, how he was killed by cops. And he was a known drug user and everything. And you know what? I'm going to say it, I feel nothing for George Floyd. Alright, was it a sad, unfortunate thing that happened to him? Yes. Should it have happened? No. But do you know what? The name that sticks out in my mind, he's also a black man, and his name is David Dorn. And I don't think I'll ever forget his name. He was a man who worked as a police chief, and he was retired. And during a lot of the looting, he was asked by a friend to come help defend his business from the looters. And David Dorn was shot by a protester, and then they recorded him bleeding out on the ground. And David Dorn died. Why do I almost never hear about David Dorn? A man who was just trying to help, a man who had served his community for years, shot and then just watched and recorded as he bled out on the ground. It is totally just horrible, and I will never forget David Dorn. In fact, I had to look up George Floyd's name because I forgot. I didn't have to look up David Dorn's name. I know about him, and I think about that all the time. So this crime thing is way out of hand, and we got to crack down on it. We got to increase police spending. We got to increase police presence. Because if there is somebody that you know is going to shoot at you, you're going to think twice. And if that's all it takes, is that just these evil people to not do what they're going to do, to make them think twice. Now, will that work every time? Absolutely not. I am not saying that. All I'm saying is that it's better to have them think that I'm going to be shot at than to think I'm just going to go into this place and bang, 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 and walk away or kill, 50 people, injure 50 people. It's just absolutely horrible. And this is something I will never, ever, ever, ever move on. Alright, next we have gay and trans rights. Now, as far as, if you want to be gay, if you want to be trans, go ahead. Personally, I don't believe you should do it. I'm just going to come out and say that. You can hate me for it. I don't care. I don't approve. Now, I will say, I actually have several trans friends. And I still talk to them. So, do I bring up the fact that I don't approve? Maybe every now and then, but they pretty much know that at this point. And we just move on. Don't push your agenda on this on other people. Am I going to make you force you to not be trans, to not be gay? Absolutely not. If that's what you want to do, then you do you. It's just, I don't believe that especially trans women, need to compete in women's sports. We have the whole Leah Thomas thing recently, and she won first, and then she did worse. I think she was not going as fast as she possibly could, but that's just my personal opinion. So take that where that is. If you choose to do something like that, I do believe you should be banned from official sports. If you want to do sports on the side or anything like that, I do believe that, I guess that's taking away a right, and that's never a good thing to take away a right. But if you're going to do that, at least until all the hormones have kicked in and you're not a muscly built former man going against genetically born women, I don't believe that if you ask me, that's totally unfair. And sports aren't always fair, I guess, but we have to try to make it as fair as possible. Otherwise, it takes away the fun and the excitement. If you went to a pistol shooting contest and somebody shows up with a sniper rifle, and they allow that sniper rifle to compete against the other pistols, does that seem fair? No, it doesn't. So do it, and don't push your agenda on small children. Let them grow up. Let them know who they are on their own with the help of their parents. Whatever they decide, they decide. Do not have teachers and people of authority push their agenda on small children. Children are the most impressionable people on the entire planet. They will believe almost everything you tell them. They believe the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, storks deliver children. I know I believed that one for a long time. And they will believe what you tell them, even by other children. But when they hear it from adults that say, "Oh, you like pink, you might be a girl." Okay, teacher. That's not okay. That is absolutely abhorrent in my opinion, and should not be taught by teachers or other people in authorities or businessmen or politicians or anything like that. That is a job for your parents. They are the ones grooming you. They're the ones that are trying to lead you to a life of success and happiness. Let the parents do the parents' job. Alright, next we're on to immigration. I want to talk about this, immigration. Now, I've actually been friends with a lot of illegal immigrants. Alright? Some of them have even been deported, and I've never heard back from them. But I believe if you come into this country, you need to come here legally. There is a way to come to this country where you can come here, get a green card, then you can apply for citizenship, and then all that. I agree with that 100%. If you want to come to the United States legally, I am all for you. Bring your culture, bring your beliefs, bring anything. If you want to bring it, bring it. Don't bring terrorism. Just saying. But, we have American terrorists too. I just want to say that too. But yeah, if you're going to come here legally, I have no problems whatsoever. If you want to come here illegally, you want to come here and steal jobs smuggle drugs, smuggle children, smuggle sex workers, come here to kill people, rob people, abuse people. That's not okay. You need to come here, you need to go through everything that you need to learn to live here and take it from there. Get your green card, apply for citizenship. That's the way to do it. If you are a refugee, we will gladly take refugees as long as you go through the processing. Alright? If you are processed as a refugee, then welcome to the United States. Don't just cross over our border and say, oh, I'm coming to the United States. So I'm sorry if that makes some of you offended, but that is my personal stance, and I'm not running to make other people happy. That other people in power happy, I should say. I'm running for the American people. Right now, I don't care if you're from Canada, Mexico, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe. I don't care. Alright? You come over here legally, welcome to you. You come over here illegally, I don't want you here. The American president and its Congress, Senate, and other politicians need to work for the American, not for the rest of the world. Can the American people help the rest of the world? Absolutely. Can America help its own people? I sure hope so. I might be hated a little bit for this, but Donald Trump was right. America first. Make America first. If you are a politician or running for any sort of office, you need to put America first. You are an American politician. You are not a Mexican politician. You are not a German politician. You are an American politician. You are here to improve the lives of the people in this country. It's such such a horrible way that people abuse the system, abuse the people, abuse America, make things worse for the average American. I can't believe it, how bad things have actually been. I was growing up, and I was probably one of the last generation where we stood up every day in school, and we put our hands on our hearts, and we said the Pledge of Allegiance. Us, the teacher, the staff, everybody made sure that we said that every day. Do you know why we said it every day? Because we're pledging to our flag, to our country, that we will do all that we can to make this country as powerful, as safe, and as wonderful and a country as we possibly can. Whenever I hear our national anthem, even if I'm in the car, I obviously can't stand up in the car, I'll drive with one hand over my heart. That is just the kind of person I am. I love our country. I grew up to love our country. And I indeed love our country. Nothing will ever change that. But I will say, even though as much as I love our country, I hate the direction that it has gone in the recent past. We don't need drugs and crimes and all this and this rapid inflation, and it's not things that the Americans want nor need, and it's time that we start to crack down on it. Now I know it's several years until 2028 when I can officially run, but if I can get a message out somehow that we need to start working on this now, just throw my voice out into the pot, that see what it adds, what flavor it adds to the mixing pot that is America and their opinions. There is a quote that I heard, and I'm a gamer, I'm a video gamer, from one of my favorite video games, Mass Effect 2, I believe, and there's a character in there that says, she's an alien, she says she loves humans, because you can have 3 humans in a room and have 5 different opinions. And that's more or less correct. We, as humans, have opinions even against our own opinions. And it's one of the strangest things you can probably ever imagine, but that's the truth. And we will fight you for those opinions, because that's what we believe in. I want to talk next about a little bit more about the state of our union. Now, more and more, the entire country is being split into mostly two groups. You have red and blue. Republican, Democrat. Red states, blue states, purple states. I don't care. We are the United States of America. There's no problem with being proud of your state. I'm proud to be from Wyoming. I love Wyoming. It is my home. And odds are this is where I want to spend most of the rest of my life. But I'm sick of all this division. Is there going to be division with us? Like I said, humans have more opinions than they have answers. And that can cause a problem. It causes division. Every human is basically a free thinker, but almost every human is also a sheep. Now, what do I mean by every human is a sheep? Those are two different entire animals. I mean, if there's a herd of sheep and one sheep heads this way, well, we go, And that's just, human nature. That's what we tend to do. And we'll just follow other people without giving any input on our own. And then we adopt those ideals. We adopt the ways that we are going. And change our own opinion. And try to force other people to come on. And it's like, oh, look, they're going this way. Everybody this way too. Come on. It needs to stop. Can we fight against human nature? No, we can't. There's no way to possibly do that. We are humans, and that's the way we're going to live and die. So, there's always going to be red states, blue states. I happen to live in a red state. And probably why I have a lot of the ideals that I do. And it's just become too divisive. You gotta be able to think for yourself. As I said, almost every human is a free thinker. You have the ability to think for yourself. So think for yourself. We don't need red states, blue states, purple states, white states. We need the United States. We are the United States of America. Back in 1860, states' rights superseded the federal government. And that allowed half of the country to secede and start a civil war. Now, since then, states' rights are now below federal government. It is the federal government that guides the nation. It's its job to guide the nation. The states need to guide the people who live there, and the federal government is to guide the states. That is the job of the federal government. The job of president is something that a lot of people think is the highest position in the land, and that is not true. We, the American people who put those people there, are the most powerful, influential people in the entire nation. Each and every one of us. That president, Congress, senators, all of them are hired by us. We are the boss. We hire them to highlight our ideals, to make them do what we want. Do we want the United States to crumble? No. I sure would hope not. Because the United States needs to continue to flourish forever. as long as human beings exist on this planet. And the way things are going, I don't believe that will happen. We have to make a big change now. We have to fight for our country now. This is something that cannot be ignored. I want to talk about our soldiers. And I want to say that I respect each and every one of you. When I was young, I wanted to be a United States Marine. Unfortunately, I got fat and my health declined, and I can't do it. Would I be a United States Marine today if I could? You betcha I would. At least give it a try. But I would fight for my country, the country that I love and I believe in. I respect each and every one of you. I want to talk about the homeless and a lot of our retired veterans, because they often end up in the same place, on the street, doing drugs. And I'm not saying not every homeless person does drugs, alright? I'm saying that it is something that can cause major problems, and this is something that people say, oh, we're going to help, oh, we're going to help. Well, do you know what? If you absolutely have to, the federal government needs to step in and say, do you know what? We are going to do this. I would like to set up a program that would give counseling, job experience, and housing for homeless and especially our veterans. Especially the counseling and job experience. This is because a lot of this problem comes from severe mental problems. It just happens. I, too, suffer from some mental problems, alright? I'm going to say it right out. I don't want to hide anything from the American people. I have mental problems. Am I going to end up living on the street doing drugs? Probably not. But I, too, suffer from problems of my own that actually could end up leaving me homeless. In fact, if it weren't for friends and family, I would have been homeless years ago. So, this is something that I had a very close brush with when we ended up staying out of Airbnbs and hotels after we got kicked out of our apartment when I lived down in Utah, and I technically became homeless. I didn't have a home. We had still enough money and stuff that we could sleep under our roof, but that was pretty much it. And then I moved back to Wyoming. It was difficult. And what I picture is, and I want to talk about the homes for homeless. I'm not saying just give homeless free apartments and homes. All right, I don't believe just give it out for free. All right, I'm talking government-run federal apartments and homes that, as the person who's going to counseling, getting job experience, will eventually, and they will be paid regular money for this. It's not like we're going to be paying peanuts. We're going to pay regular money that they will be able to save and start paying rent and utilities and food. You just have to give them, I don't know, maybe a couple months in order to save up enough money to start paying. And would it be astronomical? Probably not. But it'd be still a way that they could contribute to basically our national debt. Because rent would go towards improving the program and going towards the federal government. The products made, if we could make factories, or they could learn to be bakers or anything, we could just set up with professionals to teach them how to do their job, do the job, pay their rent and utilities, and products made can go towards the federal government. Rent can go towards the federal government. And money still goes in the pockets of other people. And hopefully we'll be able to have people who have gone through the experience, who have gone through the work counseling, through the work experience, through everything, and have them replace the professionals so that people will be more willing to learn from somebody who was in the exact same situation. Another thing we need to worry about is America is losing more and more respect on the world stage. We've gone from the strongest country in the world to being the laughingstock of the world. And I am going to place most of the blame on our current leadership. I mean the percentage of people who think that our current leadership, and I'm not just talking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I'm talking about most all of our politicians, both right and left. A lot of them are just not doing the job that they need to do. Improve the lives of America and make America shine on the world stage. We need people to look up to us, not people to look down on us and ridicule us and make fun of us. We are the most powerful nation on the country, on the planet, slowly becoming number 2. And when we get to number 2, we'll become number 3, and then number 4, and then number 5. People are not going to respect us anymore if we keep going the way that we're going. We need to show the world that we are worth looking up to. Shining examples, clean cities, happy citizens, the strength of the dollar. These are all things that we need to make strong. And if we can't, then everything else looks weak. If your population does not look strong, your military doesn't look strong. This is something that we just need to make happen. We need to just show the world we are worth it. And you do not want to mess with us. Alright, for right now, that's all I have right now. Please leave your comments and questions down below and let me know what you guys think, and I will try to answer every question that comes along. Whether in the form of, I might just reply, or in the form of a video. But for right now, this has been Daniel B. Giovannoni, and I am running for president in the year 2028. And I would very much appreciate you to spread the word and to come and vote in the year 2028. And even if you don't vote for me, come vote. If you don't vote, you don't have any right to complain. So God bless America, and God bless you.